I'm going to share with you the 5 principles that I use every single day as a busy dad and entrepreneur that allow me to stay in great shape, be super productive, get everything done, and still make time for the things that matter. And I promise you that if I can do this, you can do this too. And if you start implementing these routines, I promise you it will change your life. Number 1, you need to start the night before, and this is all about preparation. You need to get everything ready and everything set up for the next day so that you are setting yourself up for success from the moment you wake up. And it doesn't matter whether it's a run-of-the-mill everyday thing that you're going to be doing, sort of your normal routine, or if it's some big event that you've been prepping for months. Every single day you need to prepare the night before. And this might sound silly, but I promise you, if you start doing this, it will really set yourself up for success. So you need to get all of your clothes ready for the next day so you know exactly what you're going to be wearing. Get your meal prep done and get everything prepared and set up so you can just grab it and go. Get your kids' clothes ready, your kids' bags ready. Get all of your stuff, whatever it is, ready and optimized for that day so you can just grab it and go. I even set up my water bottle and my protein shake and all that sort of thing and my work bag and get everything done the night before. The other thing I do is I look at my to-do list for the next day. If I haven't got one, then I set one. What have I got to do that day? Whether it's at work, whether it's business, whether it's family, whatever it is, I look at exactly the things that I need to do the next day and I make an important to-do list. And then I know exactly what tasks I've got to get done that day. So then when I go to bed, I wake up in the morning, I'm already wearing my gym gear. I sleep in my gym gear. So then when I do go to bed, I've already set myself up for success. So I know exactly what I'm doing the next day. I know where everything is. I know exactly what I'm doing. So I can get up straight away and get going. And when I go to bed, I go to bed in my gym gear so that I can just wake up and get after it straight away. And that takes me on to step 2, which is to get up, fuel up and work out. And this is something I learned from my personal trainer. What I would normally do up until about 6 months ago is I would get up, grab my water and head straight out the door to go to the gym. And then I would do my workout first thing in the morning. But what my personal trainer taught me was that you need to eat before you go to the gym, because your body only has about 30 minutes worth of energy and reserves inside of you before you start burning what you already have, which is your muscle mass and your body fat. Now that might sound great to people that want to lose weight, but trust me, you need to eat before you work out because you're not going to have the energy required in order to do a good workout. Your body is going to start burning your muscle mass and your fat within about 20 minutes of you working out, and you're not going to have the energy in order to perform at your best. And this is something that I found when I started working out, because I would start off on the treadmill, then I'd start doing some rowing, then I would start getting into my weight training, and by that point I was pretty much depleted of all my energy reserves and I wasn't able to push myself to my limits. So then I would sort of do a half workout where I wasn't really pushing myself, and then I would come away not feeling as good as what I possibly could. Whereas when I wake up and eat something, it doesn't have to be a lot, it could just be a small meal just to give you some energy. Then when you get into the gym, then you've got the energy. And I've found that it really has honestly made a difference, and it really does make you perform at your best levels. So I wake up in the morning, I come downstairs, I make myself a quick meal, porridge, some oats, some honey, whatever. Just whatever you feel like you can eat that can be digested quickly, then you leave and get to the gym. And the reason why you work out early is because throughout the day, you're just going to get busier and busier and busier, and more excuses crop up. If you work during the day, then by the time 6-7 o'clock comes around, you're going to be too tired and all your energy is going to be depleted throughout the day, that you're going to start making excuses why you can't go to the gym. Additionally, other things might happen, like one of your kids might be sick. You might have to rush to get home to make dinner, or you might have to pick people up, or something else might happen. You might have a deadline at work that needs to be met. The more excuses seem to happen, so you won't work out. And if you don't have work during the day, your calendar will dictate that you won't end up working out. You will end up just making other things a priority. Whereas I find if you just get up and work out before anyone else is awake, you get it done, and then the hardest part of your day is done. You've done 2 things that are incredibly hard. 1, getting up early when you don't want to get up early, and 2, working out when you don't want to work out at that time in the morning. By the time 6-7 o'clock has rolled around in the morning, you've now done 2 hard things, which then give you the momentum to be successful throughout the rest of the day. And trust me, as someone who's been doing it for a little while, it does work, and you do feel like you have much more productiveness throughout the day because it's sort of the momentum just keeps going. Then when I finish my workout, I come home, and that takes me on to part 3, which is what I call the chaos hour. This is the hour when I have to get my kids up, get them dressed. They normally fight with me. They don't want to get dressed. They don't want to get up. And then I have to get them breakfast, get all their nursery bags sorted, which I've already sorted the night before, so that's fine. Then I have to then get them out the door and take them into daycare for the day. Then once I've taken them to daycare for the day, I then have to come home and walk the dogs so they get some energy and burnt off and they get to run. And then by the time I've done that, I come home and that is absolute chaos in my house. And you must have this if you're parents as well, where you have absolute carnage in your house first thing in the morning, trying to get everyone ready, trying to get everyone out, trying to make sure all the right bags are ready and everyone's got the right things they need for the day. But during that chaos hour, if you have prepared the night before, then you are going to have a good hour. You can just get it done like clockwork and get everyone out the door. And if you have that routine, you'll find that it works well with your kids as well, because if they have that structure where they wake up at the same time every day and get out the door at the same time every day, you'll find that over time they start to like that structure and routine. It actually works better for you. So the chaos hour doesn't have to be as chaotic as you think it is. Then we come to part 4, which is once the chaos hour is finished, once you get back, then you can evaluate and lock in. And this is basically where you look at your to-do list and you crack on with all the most important tasks that you need to do throughout the day. And what you need to ask yourself, and this is when you're making your to-do list, is what is an income generating activity, or what is an activity that's going to move the needle for me and my business or my work. Whatever it is you're doing, whether it's work or business, you need to work out what the most important tasks are. Not the busy work that you need to do throughout the day that's going to just make you get to the end of the day and then you think, what have I done? You need to actually look at what is going to move the needle for my job or for my business that is going to make a difference. And once you've do that and then you lock in and you crack on with that, then that is the most important task. What we tend to do as humans is we tend to have a to-do list of about 50 things, and then we just end up doing a little bit of everything, like peppering everything a little bit, and then we don't actually finish. We end up just doing half-assed jobs for most of them. What you need to do is lock in at the most important jobs that you need to do and then just do that job well. And this is something I got from an online entrepreneur called Dan Martell, and he follows something that says FOCUS, the acronym FOCUS, which is follow one course until successful. Now this he uses for business, which is to focus on one thing, one niche, one area in order to just keep at it until you're successful. But you can use it for work as well. Just keep doing one thing, one task until you've completed that one task and then move on to the next one. Don't try and do multiple little bits of each individual task. And then you just lock in and do as much of that as you can for as long as possible. And number 5 is the most important one, which is to make time for the things that matter. Don't just make yourself busy all day and block out your calendar all day with all these important things, but then you forget to make time for things that matter, like walking the dogs, like going for lunch with your partner, like spending time with your kids in the evening. It was one thing I was guilty of at least a year ago, was I would lock in all day and I would spend all day either doing stuff for work or doing stuff for my business or working with clients or editing videos or whatever it was. I would just do that all day and all night, and any time I was spending time with my kids, I was physically with them, but I was mentally absent from it. I wasn't actually spending time with them and spending time in the moment playing with them. I was there, but I was thinking about other stuff. And what you need to do is make time for the things that matter, because there is absolutely no point in you doing all of these tasks and building a successful business if you are not going to focus on your family and make time for your family, because that is one of the most important things. So make sure you make time for the things that matter. Schedule in a date with your partner. Take them out to lunch. Schedule in an hour for your kids. And what you need to do is schedule this in throughout the day so that you know when you're doing it. So make time for work, make time for your business, make time for your kids, make time for your partner. Whatever it is, just make time for the things that matter and make them a priority. Now, these are the 5 principles that I've been doing over the past 6 months at least, and I found that they have been absolutely game-changing for me. I prepare all my food. I prepare the night before for the next day. I get up and work out first thing in the morning. I come home and everything is all optimized and ready to go, so it's all organized. I then decide exactly what I'm going to do and I lock in and do it, and then I spend time with my family and make time for the people that matter in my life. And if I do all of those things well, then I find that my life is much more organized. I feel much more productive. I have the momentum to be successful at the day, and you will find this too. So trust me, stick to these principles and you will not regret it, I promise you. If you found this video useful, leave a comment below and let me know the most useful thing you got out of the video. And please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more about my lifestyle behind the scenes, being a busy dad, an entrepreneur with 2 kids and a filmmaker, and trying to just push along and be successful. But otherwise, I'll see you on the other side.